Hello and welcome back to another Python tutorial. My name's Tom with Master Code Online, and today, as always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to go ahead and make this birthday method a little bit more dynamic. Currently, we would have to call it on their birthday, and I do not want to go ahead and do that. So we're going to set it up where we're going to get today's date. And if today's date matches their date of birth, we're going to go ahead and add a year. And then eventually we're going to go ahead and set it up so it runs on a daily process, but not now. Alright, so I just want to show you guys how to bring in date, time, and modify this method. And I'm going to work you through the steps. Instead of going and showing you, hey, this is how you write the code, I'm going to show you how to work through the steps to actually get where we want to go, versus me just telling you how to write the code, because you guys aren't going to learn anything that way. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to add a date of birth into our init constructor. So we're going to say, let's just do a birth date up here in front of date, or in front of age. All right, and then right below last name, we're going to do self dot birth date is equal to birth date. All right. Now we're going to need to be able to get the current date and time. And how do you do that in Python? Well, we import a module called from date time import date time, and the name of that module is date time. All right. So the next thing we need to do is come down into our method in the birthday method and go ahead and create a variable to hold the current date and time. So we're going to call that today's date. All right, and we'll do date time dot now. The now method returns the exact date and time it is currently when the program runs. All right. Next thing we want to do is bring in our birth date. So we're going to say DOB is equal to self dot birth date. All right, and we wouldn't need this right off the start, but I'm going to show you why we need this in a second. If DOB is equal to today's date, then we're going to bring in the self dot age, and we're going to add a 1 to the age to increase it on the birthday. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. I'm going to kill my interpreter real quick, press up, get Python 3 going, and from student, import student, and then I'm going to say A is equal to student, and in here I'm going to say Tom, and I'm going to say Myers, and I'm going to say that's not what I wanted. So we got last name, birthday, age, grade. Alright, birth date is going to be 11/02/2017, because that's today's date, and we want this to work on today's date. Close out the string. Age is 14, 9th grade, and we don't need GPA. Hit return. And we're just going to call it a dot birthday and see what happens. All right, we get 14. Well, if I'm 14, I wanted to add 15 because today's date is 11/02/2017, and it should make this 15. So let's go ahead and work through our program and figure out how we're going to make this happen. All right, so the first things first, the best way to handle this is go ahead and see why DOB and today's date are not matching up, because they should match up, because today's date is 11/2 and my birthday is 11/2. So let's go ahead and do print, and we're going to do today's date, and right below DOB we'll print DOB and see what's going on here. So I'm going to kill the interpreter again, clear my screen, press up Python 3, and now I'm just going to press up, import my student, and then I'm going to create my object, and then I'm going to call my birthday method, And as you can see, the first line is our date time now, and it's returning 2017-11-02, and then the time. Okay, cool. It is 2017, and it's November 2nd. All right, so that matches. And then here's my date of birth. It's 11/02/2017. All right, so that matches up, but it doesn't. Because you look, it says it's all backwards. All right, so it doesn't match. So let's go ahead and work through this and make these match. Okay. So let's see. What's our first step? Well, I can tell you from experience that this is not a string. All right, and this is a string. All right. So that would probably be our first step. Let's make this a string. So in here, we're going to do str and str. So str makes it a string. All right, so we're making some headway there. Now, as you noticed in here that there is a space and then a time. Well, I don't need the time. I don't care about the time. So let's get rid of the time. How do we do that? I'm going to show you here in a second. We're going to use split. And split, what it does, it default, and I'll show you in a second how to add an argument, but default splits on a empty space. So it's going to go ahead and split at the space. So it's going to split these into two. It's going to create a list, and we're going to have the date and the time. All right. So let's go ahead and run this one more time so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Python 3, student, my object, birthday, whoops. String object has no attribute split. Well, because I spelled split wrong. Split like that. And then clear my screen, kill my interpreter, run it again. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Alright, so we split it. So we got the date on the left and the time on the right. This is 0 index, this is 1 index. We only want the date, so let's get the 0 index. And right after the split, we're going to use square brackets and 0. We'll save that if you have to save it. Kill the interpreter. Do it again. And I know this is kind of redundant, like killing the interpreter, starting back up and stuff like that, but it helps you test your code. So you got to get in the habit of doing that. All right, so 2017, we got 11/02. This is now a string. This is now a string. But as you can tell, they do not match up. So how are we going to handle that? Let's go ahead and modify our DOB to match the date time. All right. So in here, under DOB, we're going to go ahead and let's first split our since our string has forward slashes in it. Let's split on that because we're going to need each one of these in a list so we can actually move them around and concatenate them so they're properly displayed like this. So what we're going to do is use a forward slash. Now we're changing that default empty space to a forward slash. And let's, we are printing DOB, so we don't need to do that. So I'll just clear my screen, kill my interpreter, run Python 3, and from student import student, create my object, and call my birthday method. Alright, so now we got this as a split, a list, alright, with 3 objects in it, 0, 1, 2. Alright, so now what we want to do is kind of situate these around so they'll match this. So how do we do something like that? I'm going to show you. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring in, let's just create another, reassign this variable to our DOB. And now we're going to concatenate the strings using list indexing. So the first things first, let's look back at what we got. We got 2017 is the first year, or the year's first, so we want to match these up. So we're going to need to do DOB, and then we're going to slice, and we're going to get 2. Then we're going to concatenate, and what we're going to do is create a string with the hyphen, and then next one is we're going to concatenate the next, which is the month, I believe. Let's just look back. A month, so we're going to go ahead and do DOB, and the month is I should have looked. Month is the 0 index, so 0, and then we're going to do concatenation again, and this time we're going to add a string with a hyphen in it, and then we're going to concatenate again, and we're going to do DOB, and we're going to do 1. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and save that. So let's just make sure that all looks right. Let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. So I'm gonna, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Kill my interpreter one more time, Python 3, and import student, create my object, call my birthday, and we got 2017 1102, 2017 1102. All right, cool. So these match up. So the date, the age should have changed, right? Let's take a look. Well, the reason why it did not change is because we're printing this up here. So how do we fix this? We're just going to go ahead and change this to today's date is equal to, and get rid of the print parenthesis down there. And now let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to clear my screen, kill my interpreter, and call Python 3. And now we're going to go ahead from student, import student, and create our object, and call our method. And there we go, we got 15. So now if I call a.h, 15. Alright, cool. So what we did was we made it a little bit more dynamic. And if you guys, in a later tutorial, I'll show you how we can check this every time. You could either do it by running this method on every run of this program, or we could set something up where it automatically runs. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but we spent enough time on this. You guys see how we can modify things. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos. See you later.